Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Cassandra. Today I'm taking you through a full body toning practice. We are going to need 2 blocks for our class today, so make sure you have that somewhere close by. And we're just going to start in a comfortable seated position, whatever that's like to you. Try to sit up nice and tall, roll your shoulders down and away from your ears. And we're just gonna start with some little half circles to stretch into the neck. So let your ear drop towards one shoulder, and just slowly rotate down towards your chest and lifting up to the other shoulder, and keep going back and forth here a few times. It might feel good for you at home to pause in one specific spot. If you notice a little knot there, a little bit of extra tension. So this is a great full body practice. We're going to try to target all areas. Really great way to build up strength and also to increase flexibility. And as with all of my classes and all yoga in general, really, most important is that you continue to breathe. So never holding your breath. So take about 1 more here. And you can lift their head all the way back up to center. Let's reach the right arm all the way up and over. Big side body stretch. And then inhale all the way up and exhale to the other side. So we're just gonna go in and out of both of those sides. Your inhale pulls you up, engage the obliques as you do this. And your exhale sends you into that stretch. Try to keep both sit bones grounded on the floor. So you're really isolating through your waist. And we'll take 1 more on each side. Coming all the way back up to center, this time twist over. So hand to the opposite knee. And to the other side, other hand on your other knee. Once more, same thing, twisting over. Try to reach the crown of your head up tall. Exhale to release. Last one as you twist. Broadening through your chest and come back. Grab a hold of 1 block and you're gonna bring your feet flat onto the floor in front of you with your knees bent. So a little bit of core work. You're gonna grab a hold of your block nice and strong and extend your arms out in front of you. So your palms and the block are pretty much at the same height as your shoulders. So as you inhale, lift the block up and think of pushing your chest forward. And as you exhale, draw the belly in, reach your arms out in front of you and lower down just about like halfway or so, almost as if you were doing a boat pose. So inhale, press, squeeze and lift. And exhale, go back without rounding through your spine. Push into your feet. Inhale to lift. 3 more here. Exhale, reach the arms forward, back lowers. Inhale up and exhale back. Pluck the shoulders down. Last one here. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale, lift all the way up. Let's add a twist. As you lower, bring your block over to the right as you lower down. Inhale, face forward. Exhale, twist to the left as you lower. 2 more on each side. Inhale up and exhale down, flat back. Lift and down. Inhale up. Exhale to lower. Once more on each side. You got this. Inhale. And exhale. Maybe sink down a little lower. Lift your way up. Last one here. Exhale. Come all the way back up to center. Let's find tabletop pose. You're going to grab both blocks and place them underneath your palms. So you want your blocks to kind of be about mat width distance apart underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingertips wide so that you can wrap your little finger and your thumb around the block. Just cat and cow here. As you inhale, drop the belly, lift your gaze, curl tailbone up. And on the exhale, round your spine, chin to chest. 2 more, inhale. And exhale. Last one, breathe in, feel the expansion, and contract. Coming back to neutral, you're gonna step the left foot back and roll to the inside edge of your left foot as you reach your left arm up to the sky. This is your modified side plank on your block. Squeeze into your glutes and see if you can float and lift that left foot off the mat. Flex your foot, push into your heel. You're welcome to stay here. If you'd like to add on, take a little bind, bending into your left knee, catching a hold of the foot and pushing the foot into the palm to open up a little more. Try to keep your ankle, your knee, and your hip all at the same height. If you're holding onto that foot, carefully release. And let's bring that left foot down. You're gonna push into the left toes, lift and squeeze your right knee towards your chest. Three-legged dog, keeping your hands on your blocks, bend into your right knee, open up into your hips. Lengthen out your arms, straighten and square that right leg, downward facing dog on blocks. So the blocks are a great way to give yourself a little bit more lift. And they're also just going to change the feeling of most poses. As you inhale, come forward into plank pose. And then exhale back, downward facing dog. Let's do that one more time. Inhale all the way forward into plank. Belly is strong, squeeze the blocks. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward to the top of the mat in between your blocks. This is your ragdoll forward fold. So you can bend your knees a lot here, maybe hold on to your elbows. You can sway a little side to side. Relax your head, relax your neck. And release your hands back down. Bend your knees a little more so that you can bring your big toes together to touch, heels apart, chair pose. Sink down as low as you can go here. Reach your tailbone towards the floor. Stay in this chair pose as you interlace your fingers behind your lower back. Roll your shoulders down and then go ahead and straighten the legs as you fold, reaching your knuckles up and over. You can absolutely keep your knees bent here if your hamstrings are still feeling a little bit tight. And bring your hands down onto your blocks, so fingertips on the blocks. Bend into both knees, and you're going to shift your weight onto your right leg and see if you can pick up the left foot off the floor like a little flamingo stance. So this is like a one-legged squat pose. If you'd like to go further, you're gonna bring your left hand onto your hip and maybe also your right hand onto your hip. Try to keep a generous bend into that front right knee. Squeeze, you got this. And let's all step the left foot back. Lower your left palm back onto the block if it was on your hip and reach your right arm up. Easy twist. Reaching one arm straight up towards the sky. One hand further away from the other. Taking your flow on your blocks, right hand down, step the right foot back. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, more space here with the blocks. Exhale, downward facing dog. And from this down dog, let your knees come back down to the floor. Cat and cow, we're setting ourselves up for the other side. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, open up your heart. Exhale, round and contract. Two more here. Last one, open up. Exhale to contract. Find your neutral tabletop pose and step the right toes back. Roll to the inner edge of your right foot and reach your right arm up. This is your modified side plank. Find something to focus on. Make sure one shoulder is over the other, and then maybe squeeze into the glutes as you lift that right heel off the ground. And there's already a lot going on here, but if you did it on the first side, take your bind, catching a hold of your right foot with your right hand. Try to keep the hip the knee and the foot all at the same height as you kick your foot into your palm to open up a little more. Takes balance for this. Carefully release that right foot. Look down towards the floor. Right toes to the mat. Pull your left knee in towards your nose. Three-legged dog. Stretch that left leg up and back. Bend your left knee. Open up your hip. Keep the lift through the armpits and through the chest. Downward facing dog. Left foot comes back. Inhale, forward plank pose. Shoulders over your wrists. Belly is in. Keep your head lifted. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more like this. Inhale, ripple forward with control. Squeeze, push into your fingertips. Exhale, down dog. And let's step the feet forward, ragdoll fold. Kind of in between your blocks here a little bit. You can bend your knees generously. Maybe hold on to your elbows and let yourself sway. Might feel good to take some cleansing breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And we're gonna come into our chair pose. So release your hands down, bend your knees a little more. Big toes together, heels apart, lift on up. Strong through your arms, strong through your legs. And staying in this chair pose, interlace your fingers the more unusual way so you have your other thumb on top. Lift the knuckles off your tailbone, roll your shoulders back, and then dive forward and down. Maybe the legs straighten. You're welcome to keep them bent. Try to keep your shoulders lifted away from the floor and away from your ears. Let's bring the fingertips down to the mat, down onto your blocks. Bend into both knees and shift your weight onto your left leg this time. And see if you can pick up the right toes, that little flamingo pose. You can keep your hands down for more support, or you can bring your right hand to your hip and then maybe the left hand onto your hip. So see how low you can go in this one-legged squat. Strong through your core, and then let's all step the right foot back. Easy twist. Right hand to the block, left arm up. Stacking one shoulder over the other. Into your vinyasa, left hand down. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale to child's pose. Send your hips back. And you can move your blocks off the mat. Just keep them somewhere close by at the top on each side in case you need them for our next flow. But give yourself a good 5 breaths in a wide-legged child's pose. Big toes together, knees apart, and just melt down here. One more big belly breath so you feel your abdomen expand. And release. And let's find downward facing dog without our blocks. So just notice if it feels different now doing it without the support of your props. See if you can push your heels towards the mat. And now let's float the right leg up towards the sky. Keep it straight and squared. Exhale, tap your knee to your nose. Come forward into plank. Twice more like this. Inhale, rise. Exhale, squeeze it in. Last one, inhale up. Exhale, squeeze, look past your palms and step the foot through. Spin your back heel parallel to the shoulder edge of your mat, warrior 2. Really bend into that front knee and squeeze it open as you open up. From this warrior 2, let's find our extended side angle. Right forearm towards your right thigh, left arm up and over. If you'd like to go further, right hand can come down to the floor or down onto one of your blocks. Think of wrapping and rolling your left shoulder back. Stretch out long left fingertips away from your left foot And let's all bring our left hand to our hip. Look down to the mat. We're coming into our half moon pose. You can do this with or without a block. If you're using your block, place it somewhere in front of your right foot. You're gonna kick off, floating your left leg up, stacking left hip over the right. Start to roll that left shoulder back and maybe reach your left arm up. So this is option one, similar to what we did in our tabletop pose, modified side plank. You can also add a bind here, bound half moon, bend into that left knee, catch a hold of the foot and push the foot into your palm to open up a little wider. For this one, don't worry about having your hip, your knee, and your ankle in one line. Your foot's gonna be higher than everything, and that's okay. One more big breath. Look down to the floor, find a forward fold at the top of the mat. Release it down. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms. You can step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we'll find that sequence on the second side. Left leg rises, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, keep your hips low. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale to lift. Exhale to squeeze and step the foot through. Spin your back heel parallel to the shorter edge of your mat, lifting up, warrior two. Catch your breath here. Squeeze your left knee open a little wider. Extended side angle. Maybe the forearm rests on the thigh, right arm up and over, or lowering down, maybe on a block, or directly to the floor. Roll your right shoulder back. Stretch out a tiny bit longer before you bring your right hand to your hip. We're coming into our half moon pose. You can do this with or without a block. You're gonna push off of your right leg to balance on the left. I'm a little too close to my wall here. Try to roll your right hip back and also roll your right shoulder back so that you're opening up in all directions. Maybe the top arm stretches up towards the sky. And if you did it on the first side, you're gonna find your bound half moon here as well, bending into that right knee. Catch a hold of the foot. The hardest part is just finding your foot, but I promise it's there. And if you have it, just push the foot into your hand and open up. Nice juicy quad stretch here. Looking down to the floor, let's all release, forward fold. Let it go. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, take your flow. Up dog, and we all meet downward facing dog. And from downward dog, bring your knees down to the mat and grab a hold of one block. We're gonna do camel pose with the help of a block. This is my favorite way to do it. I find it much better and healthier for the low back. So you just wanna bring your block really kind of like up high so you can squeeze and hold on to it. And once you have this squeeze, try to keep your hips over your knees and lengthen your tailbone down. So not too much of a curve in your low back and lots of strength in your core. This is really important. Bring your hands back to support your low back, fingertips pointing down. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind you. As you inhale, find some lift, squeeze your block, and then see if you can lift up and over. Still pushing your hips forward, and you might choose to stay here. You can always reach for your ankles if you'd like, but really keep squeezing onto your block. If you were down low towards your ankles like me, bring your hands back and we all lift up and just let your hips come down. Move your block off to the side, tabletop pose. Whenever I do a back bend, I like to do a counter pose of a twist. Just feels the best for me. Let's reach the right arm up to the sky, thread the needle. reach your right arm through, lower ear and shoulder down to the mat. Once you've lowered, notice how your hips are probably leaning over to the left. Realign them over your knees. Push into your left palm, lift back up, right arm up, and tabletop pose. We'll go to the other side, left arm rises, inhale. Exhale, twist, lower the left arm and shoulder and ear down to the floor. This time, press your hips to the left so they stay directly over your knees and push into the floor, stretching through the upper back. Nice twist here. Push into your right hand, come all the way back up, left arm up, and release. Grab a hold of your block, place it in between the upper inner thighs, just like what you did before, and then lower all the way down to your belly. So whenever we're doing anything that requires either back bending or back strengthening, I like to use the block as much as possible. It engages your adductors, the muscles towards the inner thighs, and does a lot to maintain the health of your lower back. So we're gonna come into our locust pose from here. Reach your arms back behind you. Squeeze the block as much as you can, and then inhale, lift everything up and off the floor. So rolling the shoulders back. And notice if you can really feel a difference here when you squeeze and hug through the inner thighs, how it changes the sensation through your low back. Exhale to lower. Push back up onto hands and knees. And from this pose, release your block out in front of you. Walk your palms forward. Take your puppy stretch. Melting forehead and chest down towards the floor. So starting to slow things down after our flows. Walk your palms in, lift on up, and just swing your legs out in front of you so you can take a seat. Stretching out through your legs. You're gonna pull your right knee in towards your belly, cross your right foot over the left one, hug onto that thigh with your left arm, right fingertips back and twist a little more. So looking over your right shoulder and trying to pull and close the gap between your thigh and your belly. One more inhale to lengthen. And exhale, face forward. So a pretty intense stretch from here. You're going to try, I'll just turn so you can see me a little bit more. You're going to try to stack one knee over the other. So right toes are pointing back towards the back of your mat. And then from here, see if you can fold on down. And you should feel that pretty intensely down that left leg. Try to relax your chest, your shoulders, your arms. And let's walk our hands in, unwrap. And now last thing here, bend into that left knee so that you're now in your shoelace pose or cow facing pose. Right knee stacked directly on top of the other. Arms out in front of you. Wrap the right arm under the left, binding once or twice. Inhale, find some length. Maybe stay here or fold on down. You can always place a block underneath your forearms here if you're not quite low enough to touch the floor. 5 deep breaths. Squeeze and lift up. Unwrap the arms, unwrap the legs, and we'll make our way to the second side. So this time, start with your twist, bending into your left knee. Maintain this length that you have as you cross that left foot over. Hug over or hug onto your left leg. Left hand goes behind you as you rotate. Nice expansion through your chest. And facing forward, let's take that big hamstring stretch. You're going to try to stack your left knee over your right one and kind of bringing that left foot in towards your hip. So my toes are now pointed back. And you might feel enough sensation just from this. It's already a lot, or if you'd like, you can fold on down. Try not to push or pull in this one. You can let gravity do the work for you, making this a little bit more yin-like in nature. We're not here for too long. Just a great pose for the posterior chain, which are all of the muscles along the back body, from the crown of your head, down your spine, and down the legs. Walk your hands back, lift on up, shoelace pose or cow face pose. Bend into your right knee also, so that now both heels are coming in towards your thighs or towards your hips, sorry. Arms out, left arm binds under the right once or twice. Inhale, find some lift. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you initiate your fold, hinging from the hips. 5 breaths. Remember, you can use your blocks here if you'd like. Come all the way up. Release your arms, release your legs, and let's lower down onto our backs. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Give it a big squeeze. Maybe rock a little bit side to side. If it feels good, you can always take a little happy baby pose, stacking your ankles over your knees, pressing the feet open, the knees open, a little wider. And check to see if there's any other little movements or adjustments that would feel good to you here before settling to Savasana, your final resting pose. Shrug your shoulders down and away from your ears, palms facing up to the sky. Close your eyes. Taking some cleansing breaths to invite a little more release and relaxation. Giving yourself the gift of stillness for just a few minutes. Begin to deepen your breath, reawakening, moving fingers and toes. You might take a great big stretch, extending your arms up overhead, lengthening out here. And we'll roll to one side, come up and take a seat. Close your eyes once you're up here. Join your palms together at the front of your heart. Notice how you feel now as opposed to when you first stepped onto your mat. What can you be proud of? What can you be grateful for? Acknowledging all of the hard work you've done and the time you've dedicated to yourself, your well-being, your practice. And with this gratitude in our hearts, we close with the chant of Om one time. Inhale to chant, big breath in. Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis. I would love to know how this went for you, and if you enjoyed using the blocks in this way. Leave me a comment down below, and please do subscribe to my YouTube channel if you don't already. It's a wonderful way to support free yoga on the internet. And I also have a brand new mobile app. You can find it by searching Yoga with Kassandra in the App Store, or just clicking the link that's down below in the description box. Lots and lots of goodies in there that I would love for you to check out. All right, that's it. Thank you so much, and hopefully I'll practice again with you very soon. Namaste.